It's been 50 days since Donald Trump took the oath of office, and we know that a lot of people who watch this show are retired, living on a fixed income. A lot of people are in the stock market, building toward retirement with savings and a 401k. They've reached out to me. Suddenly, people are nervous. They're not panicked, but people are nervous. They've got faith in the president and the new administration. But the Dow today, with its single worst day since 2022, dropping 890 points, almost 900 points. The Nasdaq also down by 4% today as the sell-off on Wall Street continues into a third week. Those are the facts. And we're suddenly hearing a word that no one wants to hear, a word that the previous administration, like so many other simple words, they couldn't seem to define.
Is the White House trying to change the common definition of a recession because next Thursday the GDP numbers coming out are going to show that we've been in a recession?
So let me say this, the strength of our labor market along with the other economic factors is what we generally see in a recession, or even what is not what we generally see in a recession.
What is exactly the White House's definition of a recession?
Again, I'm not going to define it from here.
We were in a recession at one point under Joe Biden. You might also remember the previous administration claiming that inflation was transitory. Take a look.
But I personally believe that this represents transitory factors.
As these transitory supply effects abate, inflation is expected to drop back toward our longer-run goal.
They continue to convey that they believe the impact will be temporary, transitory, however you want to refer to it.
They got away with that because everything in life really is transitory. But those were all lies in the moment. Inflation under Joe Biden hit 9%. That's the highest since Jimmy Carter. Gas set an all-time record, over $5 a gallon nationwide. Mortgage rates spiked at 8%. And Democrats today, worried about egg prices, must have amnesia because they seem to forget about the price of everything else at the grocery store over the last 4 years. And today, the other networks dusting off an old trick to scare people. Do you remember, for months leading up to the 2020 election, Joe Biden, Donald Trump, CNN and MSNBC would have the COVID death numbers right on the screen during every single show. And then suddenly, Joe Biden gets elected, he takes over, and poof, all the death trackers come down. Well, look what they just dusted off over at CNN today. The COVID death tracker has now become the Trump stock market tracker. Take a look.
As we hear the president being asked about a recession and he won't dismiss it, I mean, what are you seeing when it comes to that question?
Yeah, on Wall Street, it's called kitchen sinking it. You throw everything but the kitchen sink in it because you could still technically blame the Biden administration and policies of the Biden administration. Like, I'm only trying to put us on a right footing. So if he jawbones tariffs and worries and the talk of recession into, actually self-fulfilling prophecy, it might well force the Fed's hand.
Okay, those stayed up for most of the day today. If you watch CNN, today was the end of the world. It was 1929 all over again, the Great Depression, Black Monday, 1987. But none of that is true. Here are the facts tonight that you will not see anywhere else. The Dow is down 5.75% over the last 30 days. But the Dow, the Nasdaq, and the S&P 500 are all still way up over the last 12 months. Here are the numbers. As of today, the S&P 500 over the last 12 months up 9.7%. The Nasdaq up 9.05%. And the Dow Jones Industrial Average that we just mentioned up 8.1% over the last 12 months. Those are the facts, and those numbers are available to anyone who wants to find them. The White House not mentioning those numbers today because Joe Biden was president during the majority of the last 12 months. Donald Trump's only been in office for 50 days. That's not a knock on Donald Trump. Those are just the facts. And the Joe Biden hangover is going to take a long time to wear off. He put us in a really bad spot. But for the first time in 50 days, the White House is having their very first messaging problem. And I even think that people are aware of this. I don't think that everyone out there is panicked, but I think that people are concerned. And this sort of hang in there, wait and see approach coming from the White House over the weekend shifted rapidly from this to something very different.
I hate to predict things like that. There is a period of transition because what we're doing is very big. We're bringing wealth back to America. That's a big thing. And there are always periods of, it takes a little time. It takes a little time. But I think it should be great for us. I mean, I think it should be great.
Okay, so that was very clever. That was Donald Trump over the weekend. He was asked if he thinks that a recession is coming, and he wouldn't commit to that. But the message today was much different, this time from Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick. Take a look.
Anybody who bets against Donald Trump, it's like the same people who thought Donald Trump wasn't a winner a year ago. Donald Trump is a winner. He's going to win for the American people. That's just the way it's going to be. There's going to be no recession in America. What there's going to be is global tariffs are going to come down because President Trump has said, you want to charge us 100%? We're going to charge you 100%. And you know what they say? They say, no, don't charge us 100%. We'll bring ours down. We'll unleash America out to the world, grow our economy in a way we've never grown before.
All right, so the White House very clear today. They do not expect us to go into a recession as a country. They are also reminding Americans that on the last day of Donald Trump's first term, even with a global pandemic, inflation was at 1.4%. Gas was at $2.20 a gallon nationwide. Mortgage rates nationwide, the day he left, 2.80%. All those numbers would go up the second Joe Biden took office, and that's where we are today, although Donald Trump is just taking office.